So page 32, again, last section here of Unit 6. Directions say record solution points for each equation. Then sketch the graph in our the grid. It does say cut and paste, matching graph from page 51. So if you go to page 51, there are some graphs here already made. So you could cut those out and paste it. We're just going to connect the dots. Is all we're going to do, connect the dots. Okay? So these are basically your options of the 8 graphs that we're going to graph. So here's how this works. Can pretty much put these grids wherever. So first couple here are going to give us a few points to plug in, and then we're going to put the dots accordingly. So for example, tells me to plug in 0 for x. So 2 times 0 minus 1. 2 times 0 minus 1.
1.
2 times 0
Negative 1.
minus 1. Now we're going to plug in 1. 2 times 1 minus 1.
1.
Now we're going to plug in negative 1. 2 times negative 1
Negative 2.
minus another 1.
Negative 3.
And now notice it doesn't give me any more points, but I could pick a couple. I like small numbers, so let's try 2. 2 times 2
4.
minus 1.
3.
And let's try negative 2. 2 times negative 2
Negative 4.
minus another 1.
Negative 5.
And now let's put our dots on there, and hopefully they line up. 0, negative 1. So that means 0 left and right, 1 down. 1, 1. Again, starting from the origin. 1 to the right, 1 up. Negative 1. Negative 3. 2. 3. Negative 2. Negative 5. I like to have at least 3 points. This one we did 5. They got all lined up. Use something to connect the dots there, side of your phone or your iPad. Just to draw a nice line that goes on forever. Okay, next one. Madison, what are we plugging in for 0 or for x first?
Negative 1.
Let's do this one first. So 0 plus 4. Yep. This one's a little trickier. Y is 0. So what plus 4 would equal 0?
Negative 4.
Plugging in 1. 1 plus 4.
5.
Negative 1 plus 4.
Negative 5.
Nope.
Oh, no. Negative 3.
And then give me another number to plug in for x.
Isn't that 3 supposed to be negative? No, it's positive. That's fine. 3.
I want to plug in 3. So 3 plus 4.
7.
Connect the dots. 0, 4 would be 4 up. Negative 4, 0 would be 4 left. 1, 5. negative 1, 3, and 3, 7
Can I use a ruler to
is off my graph. Sure. And connect them.
What the ruler's wrong here?
They're in one of those blue bins. So there's your graph. Again, on page 51, remember it's basically multiple choice. You could be crossing out the ones that we've already used if you want. Next question.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. It did put a multiple choice.
Give me 1 point to plug in for X, one number, and then I'll have you try to find a couple more. Again, I like pretty small numbers. Pick a number for X.
3.
3. So what is negative 3 times 3?
6. No, 9. Wait, you said negative 3? Oh, negative 9.
Negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9, minus another 2.
Negative 7.
Nope.
Negative 11.
Now the problem with this point, Landon, that you gave me,
It's not on there. So why don't we erase
it's
that?
going to be way down here somewhere.
And go with 1.
Okay, so let's try 1. Let's try negative 1. Let's try 0. Plug those in for X and see what you get. Plug them back into the equation. Negative 3 times that number. Minus 2.
I figured it out. It's pretty easy. For that last box, can we put our own number in?
You know, 4 is enough.
Okay. For our next one, Mr. Milton, on number 4, can we create our own and show the class what we did?
Sure, Landon.
Yay! It's just a suggestion, but I didn't actually think you were gonna say yes.
Got him?
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure
All right, negative 3 times 1.
1.
Negative 3 times 1.
Oh, wait, whoops. Negative 1.
Negative 3 times 1.
Negative 3.
Negative 3 minus another 2.
Negative 5.
Negative 5. So there's your next point. Negative 3 times negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 1.
Negative 3.
Positive 3.
Oh, dang.
Minus 2.
Be 1.
Negative 3 times 0
0.
minus 2.
Negative
Again, your dots better line up. Maybe not with that bottom one because we pretty much guessed where that was.
Yep, basically, yep.
So that actually wasn't too bad without using a grid. Looks like it should have been up just a tad. But again, your dots have to line up or you did something wrong.
Okay.
Here's a little hint. If you ever see y equals, that will be a horizontal line. Horizontal line. Because if x is 0, y is 4. If x is 1, y is 4. If x is 2, y is 4. Because it says y is 4. So all that is going to be is a horizontal line 4 up.
So we can create our own now?
Right there would be the line. And I don't know, I haven't looked at the next page a whole lot, but if you ever have x equals, that would be a vertical line.
You basically just gave us all that answer.
Yep. That was the point.
What is this?
Question number 5. Give me a number for x, Landon.
5.
5. Okay, now it says x plus y is 3. So if x is 5, what's y?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Madison, give me a number for x.
8.
Why don't we go smaller? 8's going to be off my graph.
2.
2. What's x have to be then to make it true? Sorry, what's y have to be to make it true?
1.
Okay, somebody other than Devin needs to answer here.
I have been answering.
Well, 2 plus what is 3? How come we couldn't answer that one?
It's those two that
Kira, give me a number for x.
3.
What's y?
0.
That's enough.
What is?
3 dots.
Enough to give me attitude, Kira.
Okay, number 6. Now, if it ever says squared, guys, you're usually going to get a U shape. Parabola. Okay, so I'm always going to plug in here, guys. I would have plugged in 0, 1, negative 1, something like that. Nice small numbers. So I'm going to go 0, 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2. That's what I'm going to plug in. Smallest numbers I can. So let's plug in 0. 0 squared minus 3.
Negative 3.
Then that would be negative 4. Actually, it'd be negative 2. Right, that's
1
negative
squared minus 3.
Negative 2.
Negative 1 squared
Negative 4.
minus 3.
Negative 1. Which is still be the same, so yeah, negative 1.
Negative 1 squared is 1. Minus 3 is still negative 2.
Oh, this.
2 squared minus 3.
1.
Negative 2 squared is 4 minus 3. So you can see, if If you have a squared, you are going to get a U-shaped, not a line. Anytime you have a squared there.
So,
This one will be a line. This one would be a U again.
so any time that it has a square by it, it's always just gonna be a U.
Correct.
No matter what.
This one would actually be right here. It's a negative U, so that just means it's flipped over. So it's upside down U. Okay, we're gonna skip 7 and 8. We've done enough of those graphings.
Yay!
Page 34. When describing these graphs, consider comparing different parts of the trip, writing a scenario describing the duration. Okay, question number 9. Miles from home. Looks how it's flat here. And then we return home. So what can we tell about the figure by looking at the graph? Okay, I would say we started at home. How long did it take to reach the destination by looking at the graph?
2 hours.
Looks like it took 2 hours to get on how far away?
100 miles.
100 miles. So I'm going to put 2 hours to reach destination. 100 miles from home. How long did we stay there?
Not long.
About 3 hours.
Looks like we stayed there from 2 till 4.5. Stayed 2.5 hours.
So basically 3 hours almost.
And then returned home. No, not 3 hours. He didn't stay till 5.
Oh, yeah.
Should be writing these down, Landon. You're gonna say you're way behind again.
Nah. That was Maddie that said she was
Okay, now if you look at it, you could also say, well, it took me 2 hours to get there, and it looks like it took 2.5 to return. It's a little slower on the way home. Maybe the roads weren't as good.
Sounds like North Dakota.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. 2 hours to get there, 2.5 to get home. Okay, number 10.
We got pulled over.
For 2.5 hours?
Yeah.
That long?
Because then it would be flat here somewhere.
You might as well be going to jail then at that
Because
rate.
we got closer to home the entire time. We didn't stop at all.
Where were we going?
Okay, take a look at 10.
Chinatown.
Take a look at 10. What changed? What changed?
There's a little indent in there.
Okay.
Looks like someone hit it, like pizza corn.
So we did not go the same speed. Which one's steeper? The first part or the second part?
The
Second part.
Second part. So maybe you were in the city before you reached interstate.
And the traffic was bad.
So I'm just going to put started trip slower. Then sped up. And then it went a constant rate until we got there. So 75 miles an hour or whatever that is, we could figure that out. Actually from 30 to 100. So this one's actually 70 miles an hour. This is in 1 hour. So it looks like you started off at 30 miles per hour. And then sped up to 70. We could include that. A little more specific than we need probably. Okay, how about 11? What changed?
It's flat.
Okay, what's that mean?
They got pulled over.
Maybe. For a whole hour, though.
State trooper game.
Trip there took longer. stopped somewhere for an hour.
We went to eat for an hour.
For an hour, Kira. That's like a 2 hour eat.
I eat for an
I can say it happened 30 miles from home.
Eat like 10 minutes and not eat.
How long did the entire trip take?
Like total maybe 12 hours maybe.
8 hours, it says.
Hours.
So the trip got extended by an hour because we stopped. Stopped and ate. Whatever.
Oh man, this next one got brutal.
Okay, it says what might have been going on here.
Got in a car crash. Little fender bender.
So this part's all the same. So here's what we got to determine that's different. How long did the entire trip take?
11 hours.
Sick drive.
They had to take a detour.
Maybe. And they went further home. So they went 20 miles the other direction in an hour. Maybe it was a detour.
Hey, look, it's Case.
So smart.
Oh, I got it right.
Maybe Landon threw his contacts out the window
I don't even
somewhere along the way.
I don't
Had to go find them.
I don't know where contacts. I'm not a big fan of contacts.
Hey, something happened there. We would have to figure it out.
Why would it take that long?
Okay, last page. Again, solving for these guys. Can't remember what the book called it, but where we cover part of the answers. Remember, we're going to have two answers anytime they see x squared. So all three of these are going to have two answers on them. So I'm going to cover up the x squared. And you tell me what would make it true. What minus 4 is negative 3?
7.
1.
1. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So what squared equals 1?
0?
0 squared is 0.
No, just 1.
1 squared is 1 and
What do you get?
Negative 1.
negative 1. Very good. All right, B. What minus 4 is 5?
9.
9. So what numbers would make this one true? What squared is 9?
3.
And?
Negative.
Okay, what would make this one true? What minus 4 is 0?
4.
Negative 4.
4
What?
is the answer. 4 minus 4 is 0. 4 minus 4 is 0.
Oh, minus. Okay.
So what's x?
2.
And?
Negative 2.
Very good. These equations are all special cases of x squared minus 4 equals 0. By solving the equation, you have found 6 solutions. What are they? Well, in this one we had 1 and negative 1 equals negative 3 here. This one we plugged in 3 and negative 3 and got 5. And this one we plugged in negative 2 and 2 and got 0. Okay, connect those 6 dots. Put those 6 dots on this graph. So 1, negative 3, negative 1, negative 3, 3, 5, negative 3, 5,
It's a U.
2, 0. How did we know it was going to be you, Landon?
It's a squared.
Because it's something with a square here. Now the problem is I don't know where it starts. So I got to plug in 0. Any of these, I guess, is fine. So 0 squared minus 4. Zero squared minus 4. There you go. Now you got your starting point.
Yay!
Hey, it should be symmetrical on each side of that line. And there's your U shape.
It looks like a V.
Here is a U.
Shouldn't be as sharp.
Has a sharp.
It looks
There's a
like
different
V.
graph that does that. It's been a while since we did a mystery grid. Let's just do one of those.
Yay. No.
14 or 16.
Why not? Why not 14?
Well, I probably don't want to deal with the decimals right now.
I kind of want to do 15. 15 looks fun.
So 14 or 16?
16.
16, let's do it. Things that multiply together to give you 18.
6 and 3.
Multiply together to give you 9.
3 of them.
3.
Oh, 3 numbers multiply together to give you 9.
3, 3, 1.
Nope.
That works.
2, 2,
But that
1.
won't work.
3, 3, 1?
Yeah, 3, 3, 1. Right?
Yeah. Or 1, 9, 1, I guess. How about this one? Divide to give you 3.
3 and 1.
Or 9 and 3.
Yeah.
Well, this one we know. Subtract to give you 3.
6 and 3.
Yeah, it can't be 9 and 6 because of the 9 down below, so 6 and 3. Multiply together to give you 36, 3 of them.
A 9.
There's only one way to get 36.
6 times 6 fell on the floor.
6 times 6 and 1. So I'm going to plug that one in right away. See if that helps us.
6 and
So I should know what goes here.
3 on the bottom, 6 on top.
I should know what goes here. There's one number I'm missing.
3.
So that means it has to be... I guess I don't know if that's 9 or 3 yet.
I put 1 there, then I got 9 left. 9.
It could be 9, 3 or 1, 3.
I think it's 9.
Let's look at the 27 then. Oh, no, I can get this one.
6 on the right. 3 on the left.
6 has to go on the left because there's already a 6 here. Okay, so this one cannot be 3, 3, 1 because there's already 3 in both rows. So that one's out. It has to be the 1, 9, 1 here.
I did it.
So what's missing here?
1.
Nope,
it's a 9.
9.
Oh, yeah.
What's missing here?
3,
Above it?
9,
Right?
1.
Multiply, give you 27. That looks good.
Somehow I figured it out, but my way is different.
That's fine, as long as you get to the final answer. There's other ways to get there.
Okay, because this is how I have.
All right, on the homework, page 36, there's only 4 to graph. I'm going to say to do at least 4 points. Don't have to do all 5 if you don't want, but you can. And then when you are done, it's going to match one of these graphs that are already done for you. So once you find the 4 points, find out which graph it is. The dot should be on there. And then you're just going to write 1, 2, 3, or 4 based on these. So they're all graphed for you. You have to find the match. There are no U shapes, so we cannot easily get rid of any. And then you have 3 mystery grids on the bottom.
Can we do them all?
You will do them all.
Go!
So there are only 7 questions for you to do today.